It finally happened today. Russia's banned from the Olympics. Certain Olympians will be allowed in under special dispensation, which is the terminology they used. Any athletes that are allowed in, they will be as individuals. They will not fly the Russian flag. Now, there's been no announcement from Russia what they're going to do, but this is the anticipation. The KHL will say, we are banning our players from going to the Olympics. We are going to have a schedule that doesn't pause for the Olympics. So that's it for Russians. Ovechkin, you got nothing to worry about. You have no team to miss. They're not at the Olympics. This opens the Olympics up so much if the IIHF argues that Canadian players in the KHL on a IIHF agreement can go to the 2018 games. That's going to be the key fight coming up. Can Canadian players who are playing in the KHL through a IIHF transfer agreement play in the 2018 games? If so, that helps Canada, the U.S., numerous European countries. If not, it leaves us with a very young, inexperienced Olympic team, probably dotted with some veterans who are no longer in the NHL. People have been asking me for months, like, can you project who's going to be at the Olympics? No. This is part of the reason why. Part of the reason I can't project who's going to be in the Olympic Games is because the NHL backed out. Now the KHL is likely to back out. We don't know yet what that's going to do to Canadian, American, and other countries' athletes who are in the KHL. Because the KHL may turn around and say, well, we'd love to let you go, but you're under a KHL contract. Since we have that contract, if you leave, we're going to dissolve your contract. I'm just saying what they could do. Not saying that will happen, but that could be the implication. Is that because the KHL owns these guys, they may say that IIHF transfer doesn't wash. We have them under contract. Our schedule is going to run through the Olympics. We need them here. The NHL isn't letting their players go to the 2018 games, and the KHL will likely use that as leverage as well, saying, well, the NHL's not letting their players go even if they want to go, so we're not letting ours go either. And while, yes, those players are Canadian and they're American, they're under our banner, they're under our contract, they're playing here. It will be very interesting to see how the Russian government reacts first. So at the time this is announced, it's basically middle of the night in Russia. There won't be an official reaction until likely tonight, my time. And it'll be interesting to see after the official, I would think Vladimir Putin will be front and center on this one, saying, whatever has to be said about Russia. And there will be a lot of support for him from Russian-born players, both NHL and overseas. So if you're a Canadian player in the KHL, and you through the IIHF managed to find a way to go to the Olympic Games, and if there's players who are Russians in the KHL who don't support that decision, how's your relationship with your teammates when you come back? You've abandoned your team for 3 weeks? Now, it's not abandoning the team as far as I'm concerned, just going off and playing for your country. I agree, the IIHF is a way for them to go and to represent their country, fly their flag, and get a chance at a gold medal. Because for the guys who would be going from the KHL, they don't make that Olympic team if the NHL goes. This dream now of the 2018 Olympics for men's hockey is a dream for players who never get that chance. It also helps women's hockey. Because the women, no matter what goes on here with the KHL, the NHL, the women will still be sending their best. It does bar the Russian team, and the Russian women's team at the last Olympics were better than they had been the first couple of times around. But this means that Russia, the US, and Sweden, and Finland, who I think are the 4 top ones. I know Finland, the US, and Canada are the 3 medalists. And China was getting a lot better too. But I digress. The women's hockey, I think, will get more attention now. If the KHL bans everybody, I do think women's hockey gets more of a chance for some attention and some eyeballs than it would have if all the NHL stars went over or if the KHL stars went over. So it'll be very interesting to see how they respond. It'll be the government first, then the KHL, unless the government and the KHL make a joint announcement. And with the way that Putin kind of has... He has a big influence in the hockey world as well. He plays hockey. He's not a guy I would want to meet in a dark alley. We'll put it that way. this could be a joint announcement by Putin and the KHL. We agree with the Russian government. The Russian government agrees with us. We are not sending our players over. And meaning, the Russians wouldn't have that option, but anybody who's not Russian wouldn't have that option either if they're under KHL contracts. And then the fight would be how the IIHF responds and how the players in the KHL respond. Because Ben Scrivens, here's an example, Ben Scrivens could be the starting goalie for Canada at the 2018 games. He would want to go rather than playing in the KHL. He may not get that opportunity because of the KHL. The fight has just begun, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to say right now, I don't disagree with the decision to bar Russian athletes from the 2018 games based on what came out of the Sochi Olympics and what was going on there. A lot of rather colorful ideas and shadowy things going on with the Russians at those games. I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's all in the IOC's reports, and it's all over the internet right now what exactly happened that's caused this huge decision to bar Russian athletes under the Russian flag from participating in the 2018 games. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.